Texas Congressman Henry Cuellar on these fast-moving developments. Congressman, always good to have you. We're learning a little more, sir, what Nancy Pelosi is saying on this COVID-19 relief package, that she expects to resolve what she calls the appropriations piece of it later today. She had said earlier that COVID-19 and a real deal is possible despite Mitch McConnell's comments. So do you think there's going to be a deal in the House on this before the election?
You know, I think the White House and Speaker Pelosi can reach a deal, but I was hearing what Chad said, and I think Chad is right on the point on that. You know, what's the Senate going to do? Are they going to take some of those senators away from elections just the week before? And are some of them going to be happy with the amount of it? Some of them don't like the amount. And of course, on our side, we got some also progressives that feel that it's too small also. So you got some folks thinking it's too big, some thinking it's not enough. But, you know, there's two big issues that have to be addressed, and I'm hoping that they're working on. Is one, you know, as you know, Democrats, we want to send assistance to the cities and the counties and the states. Republicans in the White House have said no, unless if that's worked out. And then the other thing is this limited liability. There are some Democrats like myself that want to see some sensible limited liability, not only for the small businesses, but also for universities and other folks on that. So we're trying to find that balance. And I hope that the White House and Speaker Pelosi can find that balance. I know it can be done, but the question is, can we do it before the election?
It's interesting, you're one of the few prominent Democrats who would at least be open to limit liability protection. As you know, Congressman, a lot of Republicans are dead set against a deal that doesn't include that. They're also concerned, as you mentioned earlier, about the aid to some states, that they would be funding states that got into a pickle long before the pandemic with unfunded pension liabilities and the rest, and we shouldn't reward them with more money. If there was a carve-out that this was not money meant to try to restore or address those pension obligations and the like, would you be open to that?
Well, you know, again, I mean, I'd rather just provide assistance to all the states. I mean, there's, quote, red states, quote, blue states. You know, we're all Americans, and that's what I want to make sure that we help, people that need the assistance, the small businesses, the people that need.
But what if it doesn't go to assistance? In other words, the fear, isn't that the fear, Congress? It doesn't go to assistance. It goes instead to those who, want some help on, the underfunded pensions, on some of these other state entitlements that are poorly funded and have been for many, many years. And that is something that shouldn't be countenanced or rewarded. What do you think?
Well, you know, again, I mean, it's like, look at the state of Texas. I mean, the state of Texas from the CARES Act ended up with, I think right now they have about $8 billion that they're holding on so they can use for the next session. So that's, those are Republicans using the CARES Act. So I can understand your question. But again, the assistance goes to those states and then they can use it. But I want monies to go directly to the cities and the counties to help the folks that are not, have lost a lot of the revenues on that. But look, this is something that can be negotiated. Look, Republicans generally don't like this assistance to the cities and the counties. Republicans like this, and some Democrats like some sort of sensible limited liability. So look, what's compromised? Let's look at those two main issues and work something out that will work for both sides. I mean, that's what we do in appropriations every single time we meet, and this can be done by the White House and can be done by Speaker Pelosi.
All right, well, watch. You might have hinted of some middle ground that could be found there. Congressman, be well, be safe, be healthy. We'll have a lot more on this and the implications of that. That's what really is drawing them apart. But if Congressman Cuellar is correct, and he is among pretty prominent Democrats who are at least open to some liability protection, that itself could, at least on an incremental basis, be showing a shift in thought here.